I am Dr. Christopher Cortman, and now for the Mental Health Minute. I want to share a very personal story, and I'm going to do my best to do so without getting emotional. But before I do, I want to talk about a research study that I heard about years ago at a conference. A professor was sharing that a study focused on depression and different kinds of treatment to alleviate depression. And she claimed that the treatment that afforded the most success in this particular study was having people write a letter of gratitude to somebody who had made a marked difference on their life in some way or another. It was not the recipient of the letter, it was the person who wrote the letter that said, "Thank you, you made such a difference." I never forgot that. Many years ago, when I was a sophomore in college, I was having a hard time, and I got my grades back, and they weren't as good as I thought they were going to be, and my girlfriend broke up with me, and I was just not doing well. And there was this guy in my suite, we called him Bunyan because he was 6'5" and a long beard, and we thought he looked like Paul Bunyan. And Bunyan said, I'm going to leave school. I'm going to go home and work. And that left an impression on me. I thought, you know what? I think that's what I'm going to do. And so I called home, and my father took the call, and he said, "Okay, I'll leave a key out for you." And that was it. It was like no one in my family had ever gone to college before, and so it was not a big deal that I was coming back home. But my friend, my roommate, he said, "Don't do that." He said, "Please call my father." And I said, "Why would I call your father? I already called mine." He said, "No, no, really, please, just call my dad." So I called his father, and he said, "What's going on, Chris?" And I told him, my girlfriend, my grades. And he said, "No, no, no. These are all temporary issues. These are things that you'll get through. Listen, you're a bright guy. You've got a lot of talent. Stay in school. Stay with it." And by the time I hung up the phone with him, I knew he was right. And all I could think of was, crap, now I have to do my philosophy homework. But I stayed in school, and I've had a really wonderful career. And I thought, but I never thanked him. So that study came to mind, and I thought, what if he's dead? So I wrote an email to my buddy, and it said, I never thanked your dad. I don't even know if you remember this, but you made me talk to your dad, and because of him, I stayed in school. I went on. I've had the opportunity to help thousands of people, and I've never thanked him. So he wrote back, and he said, my dad is literally dying right now. And I read your letter to him. And it was the first time I saw him smile in the last month. And he said, "You tell Chris, thousands and one." Sometimes telling somebody thank you is exactly what they need to hear. And just as importantly, it's exactly what you need to say.